Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Hi, I'm going to give you a user guide. No, hi. Hi, I'm going to give you a
Hi.
Hi, I'm going to give you a demonstration on how to start up the Quadrotor that we've designed and built this year. So the first thing you want to do is get the control unit and get that sitting in the centre of the Quadrotor itself. As you can see on the control unit, the forward position arrow is pointing this way, which you want to get in the forward motion of the Quadrotor. As we're going to be flying this with remote control, you want to take the receiver and plug it into the inputs of the control unit. So the first thing you want to do is plug the aileron port into number 1 on the input port of the control unit. The aileron and the rudder and the throttle and the elevator are all written on this receiver. So first of all, you plug the connection into the aileron, and what you need to do is make sure the ground is on the bottom, which is indicated by a negative symbol on the receiver. And then you want to plug that into number 1 on the control unit, again making sure that the ground wire is on the bottom. The second one that you want to plug in is the elevator. Again, you just plug that into the elevator slot on the receiver and then plug that into number 2 on the control unit. The next one that you want to plug in is the throttle. So once again, plug that into the throttle on the receiver and into number 3 on the control unit. And the last one you want to plug in is the rudder. So plug it onto the rudder on the receiver and then into number 4 on the control unit. Now that the receiver controls are plugged into the control unit, you want to plug in the motors themselves, and it's important how you plug the motors in. As this is the forward motion of the Quadrotor, you want to take the motor at the top right is number 1, the motor at the bottom left is number 2, the motor at the top left is number 3, and the motor at the bottom right is number 4. So as I said, top right is number 1, and that goes into number 1 on the output of the control unit. Again, making sure that the ground is the bottom wire. You can also see that the red wire is removed, which is the positive wire, and that is removed on 3 out of the 4 motors. It's left on 1 just to power the control unit. So number 2 is the bottom left, and that goes into number 2. Number 3 is the top left, goes into number 3. And number 4, bottom right, and that goes into number 4. Okay. If you're going to be doing an outdoor flight, you want to plug in the GPS unit onto the control unit. That is this unit here, and you can either plug that in the top here or on the side. You want to make sure that the GPS unit is on the top plate and not on the bottom, so that it can receive a good signal from the satellites. So again, that just plugs in here. And then sits on the top plate. Also the telemetry kit, as you can see here, plugs into the telemetry port on the control unit, which is here. What that isn't so important where you put this, you can put that in the bottom tray if you've not got the space on the top tray, that's fine. So now that everything's wired up, we can go on to wiring in the batteries now. But what you want to do is, before plugging the batteries in, you want to make sure that you turn the remote control on, and make sure the throttle's at 0. So again, there's 2 batteries on it. They are 3,300 mAh batteries, and 1 battery powers 2 motors. So again, you just connect the 2 of these, like so, and the same to the other side here. You should see the control unit lighting up now, and you should hear a tune playing from the speed controllers. that confirms that the speed controllers are powered up, and so is the motor as well. Now, what you want to do now for the remote control is you want to arm the unit so that it's ready to fly. So what you do is you hold the throttle down to the bottom right for about 5 seconds, and you should see the red and blue light flashing when it's ready. It normally takes about 5 seconds. And as you can see, if I give it a wee bit of throttle, all of the motors spin up. Now, before you go anywhere near the propellers or anything, make sure that you disarm the device. You do this by holding the throttle down to the bottom left for again for 5 seconds. Before you touch anything, just make sure by giving it a wee bit of throttle that it's disarmed. As you can see, sometimes it doesn't catch it in the first attempt. So if you hold it down to the bottom left, again for 5 seconds, that should disarm it. Give it a wee bit of throttle, and as you can see, they're not moving. Again, this is for the remote control flight. As I was saying, with the GPS unit, you can do an autonomous flight with it as well. That is using the Ardu pilot software that you can download online. It's called APM Flight Planner, and there's a lot of tutorials online how you use that, but a brief example is it's got mapping software and an artificial horizon that connects with the telemetry kit. You can plug in waypoints using the mapping software, and then it'll go away and fly the waypoints. But what you want to do is you want to pre-program your waypoints, write it to the control unit. You'll be able to see that function on the APM Planner software. And to get the flight to actually start, what you want to do is give a small amount of throttle, and then it will away and do its flight. You don't need to do anything else with the remote control unit, as in your pre-programmed flight you have it to come back and land as well. And that's everything that you need to know to be able to fly the Quadrotor.